All right, guys, welcome to Q&A live stream. I'm here with Benjamin. All right, Benjamin Seda. We're streaming on both of our channels now. I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna give it a second for guys to join in. Real quick, if you watching from Benjamin's channel, comment 1. If you're watching from my channel, comment 2. If you on FitX Fearless's channel, comment 2. If you on Benjamin's channel, comment 1. Just so we make sure that we got guys from each of our pages here. All right, let's jump right into it. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, this is going to be a live Q&A. I'm going to let Benjamin introduce himself, and then I'm going to introduce myself, and then we're going to bring you guys on to ask some questions.
Awesome. What's up, guys? Benjamin Seda here, aka formerly known as Based Zeus. Excited to answer your questions. If you are one of my own viewers, you know we make videos on approaching, dating apps, and overall how to improve your success and relationships with women in dating. And I'm very excited to get it cracking and answer these questions with Fit. I appreciate you having me on, by the way, bro.
You got it. And for Benjamin's audience, I'm FitX Fearless. Me and Benjamin are in a similar space, helping guys with self-improvement. I also do dating as well. I'm primarily focused on helping guys to be more well-rounded, improve all areas of their life. And today we're going to come together to answer as many questions of you guys as possible. So make sure you have dating-specific questions so we can help you guys out. So I'm going to share the link in the chat. You got to make sure if you join, if we post this link for you guys to join, I will remove you if you do some stupid shit. So here's the link. I'm going to post the link 1 second. I'm going to post the link. You can join by to ask some questions. You can ask a question. That's the link in my chat. Click that link, join the stream, get your question ready. Don't be mumbling and muffing, and have a question ready to go. And let's get it.
I have the link as well pinned in my chat. I'll drop it in there periodically so you guys can hop in. If you're watching over on my stream, you can hop in and ask us questions, and you will get a double whammy of answers from myself and Fit.
Awesome. So we're going to wait. There's already a couple guys in the waiting room already. Guys, it's first come, first serve. So the sooner you get in the waiting room, the better for you. Click that link, join, and let's get started. All right, let's go. Oliver, if you're in the waiting room, you must have your camera turned on or we're not picking you. We need to see you visibly and clearly or we're not calling on you. Cool. Hope that's clear. All right, let's go. Oliver. Hold up, my bad. Let me bring, I'm gonna remove you and I'm gonna add you. 1 second. Okay, it's not the way I want it to be. Let me try it again. We're figuring it out, guys. We're figuring it out. So I think I'm gonna have to remove Benjamin. And then, no, let me remove Benjamin. And then I'm gonna add the overlay. And then I'm gonna add Oliver. And then I'm gonna add Benjamin. Perfect. Got it. All right, Oliver, talk to us, man.
Hello, sirs. Thank you so much for picking me. I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm listening every day, and you're exploding a lot on YouTube. So you're doing something right. I just want to ask, what do you think is something that someone should do who lives in a city like Miami or LA, and they want to find a good girl, but the probability is there's just, the scene is just not that excellent, and the probability is quite low, I find. So what do you think? Should we move? should we maybe join a church group, maybe join a yoga class? Like, what's your opinion on that, you think?
Real quick, is your question specific for Benjamin or me or both of us?
Both of you, whoever thinks is more applicable to answer.
Okay, Benjamin, you can go first.
Yeah. So what I would say is that I would, number one, challenge the belief that these women don't exist here, and I would reframe it as something that's closer to reality, wherein maybe maybe in a normal city, in like a small town in Eastern Europe or a small town in Wisconsin, there's 10%, there's 20% good girls. But in a city like Miami or LA, where there's big status or clout culture or whatever it is that you may feel is degenerate, is maybe that percentage goes down, it gets cut in half. So I would, number one, understand that there are good girls in the city that you're in, but you need to fix the way that you're trying to access and tap into them. You're probably not going to find them at the nightclub. You're probably not going to find them, on the apps. There are some of these girls, but less likely. And typically, if you did want to, I've lived in big cities and I've coached lots of clients in big cities as well. Typically, if you find a girl who initially just moves to a city and you start dating her at that point, before you could say she gets negatively influenced by the city's culture, because as soon as you expose yourself to a new environment, you're going to get influenced by the culture. You could say, if you find a girl who moved from a smaller town and has more traditional values, once she moves to a bigger city and she isn't acclimated to it yet and she hasn't bought into the culture of it, she may bring that small town culture with her, and that may be more suitable for the type of relationship it sounds like you're looking for. So I would think about, what is your ideal partner? What is like her daily routine look like? What does her lifestyle look like? And how can you insert yourself into these locations so that you can tap in and have access to all of them?
All right, I'm not going to be as nice as Benjamin. I think you're selling yourself a cope, right? You're in scarcity. You don't have options with women in general. All right, so you're blaming the location. First of all, I believe every man should be in a big city, because with a big city you get options. All right, once you have that checked off, a big city with options, all right, you have to compete. A place like Miami, New York, LA, Vegas, like the competition is what's going to make you a better man. But if you tell yourself, oh, maybe I won't find the kind of girl I want here, well, what makes you think you're gonna find her in the middle of fucking nowhere? Like, the girls in the middle of nowhere, if they had an opportunity to get the best quality guy, they're gonna pick him as well. You're not the best guy where you are. So it sounds like you want to go to where you have more of a shot. This is the shit with the passport bros. And I started going against this movement. Right? You got to make yourself successful in a competitive environment. Make yourself a catch to what women want, because it's not going to change wherever you go. If you suck in Miami, chances are you're going to suck in Virginia. All right. That's what I say. Cool.
Oh yeah, it's very smart. Very smart. Thank you so much. And
right,
out of the box thinking.
Let's get it. Start improving yourself, my G.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose that fat, man. I'm gonna lose it. I started CrossFit yesterday.
There you go. See, you got a lot of work to do. It ain't so much the city.
And I got the Moxidil, bro. I'm gonna start getting them good eyebrows.
Bro, Benjamin, this is the problem with dudes, right? It's always something else and not me. If you are the hottest dude you can fucking be, with the most money, the most status, and you still were struggling, then we might be able to tweak some things. But you still got a lot of work in you that needs to be done.
Yeah, the way you bring up a good point. I think your status or your sexual market value is going to determine the ceiling at which you operate at, right? If you're out of shape, your finances aren't in order, your social skills are terrible, your ceiling is going to be quite low. So your top, the type of women you can attract is going to be much lower. It's just like a job. If you're not qualified, you're not educated, you don't have experience, the types of opportunities you're going to be able to have is significantly lower. So yeah, to Fit's point, number one, do you feel like you are at a place where you can attract the ideal partner? That's number one. And then number two, kind of like I alluded to, there's the tactical adjustments you can make in the strategy of how you're attracting them.
I see.
Perfect.
Well,
I got just 300 people watching.
yes.
Make sure you guys are liking the stream. Let's get these numbers up. Appreciate you, Oliver. All right.
Thank you, sirs.
All right. Mateo. Oh, never mind. We gotta do this again. 1 second. All right. Mateo.
Hi guys, thank you for having me. I have a simple question about how to don't be too much emotionally involved with a girl that you like, and some trick, I don't know, to stay focused and don't fuck up everything.
Okay. You're trying to not be emotionally attached to a girl?
Yeah, no, because usually especially at the beginning of the relationship, if to be too much emotionally involved, there is the risk that also, I don't know, the amount of mystery that you have and other stuff. Also, you don't focus your time to improve yourself, and you start to act in a different way. Also, your confidence. You start to maybe tell some secret about you that you don't have to tell, and stuff like that. No, so so I have this problem. Yeah.
So that tells me that you don't have something that you love outside of the girl. So if you're having a problem where you get with a girl and you become so emotionally attached to you telling secrets and shit, that means you don't already have something that you can create distance with. You're not busy enough. So when you get with a girl, you tend to fall in that trap. There's no tricks that you're gonna do to make yourself have a purpose in life. So you got to have a purpose in life, right? Things that something that you put above women. And then after that, once you start dealing with a girl, it won't be as easy for you to just jump emotionally into the girl, because you're gonna have this number one thing that you care about.
Yes, but in the long term, in the long run, in the long period of time, is you have to check.
Right, I know.
It happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes back to you. Do you have like, as you take yourself seriously, right? If you take yourself seriously, why do you need to be a clown? I'm not saying you can't be romantic. You should be romantic with your girl. But why do you need to fucking spill out secrets like a little boy? Like, why can't you let her earn everything she gets from you in time? Even in time, like there should be some things that you still keep mysterious from the girl. But I think it still goes back to you being a clown and you not having a purpose. You don't take yourself seriously. There's no masculine frame that you internally have. So you got to work on that.
Okay. You say that because how I speak to you, or
No,
just
I'm saying if you have a problem, and I'm gonna let Benjamin go right after me. If you have a problem with spilling the secrets in time with a girl, you usually want to act like a clown. Like, I don't have the inkling to joke around. Not so much joke around, but spill secrets, because I take myself seriously. So I don't worry about me spilling the secrets a year from now, because I don't have that in me to be pillow talking and acting like a fucking bitch. Like, start acting like a man. Carry yourself like a man. You don't have these. You don't feel this need to do this in the future. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Yeah. So I'll address the question from a different angle. What I will say is that anytime we're engaging in a behavior, it's because somewhere inside of us we believe that there's value in that behavior. So you believe putting her on a pedestal and treating her differently because of the fact that you really like her, and because of the fact that she's super attractive, and you usually don't get women like this. Fit's absolutely correct that you're operating from scarcity. However, the problem is that you believe that because this is an option where you do have scarcity, that you have to act differently, and that you need to trick yourself into doing something else. Where the truth is, I wouldn't try to trick yourself because it's not going to work. And if it's going to work, it'll last 3 days and then you'll go back to doing all of the same nonsense that you're trying to avoid. I would instead reflect on and think, what is the root cause that's forcing you to want to do these things? Are you trying to overcompensate? Do you think that these things are going to make her like you more? Do you have like some sort of unresolved trauma or some reason as to why you feel like you need to dump all of your secrets or trauma dump on a girl that you just met? I would look into those things and figure out where these are coming from and reflect on that so that you can actually solve the issue on the root. Looking for a trick or some sort of hack to stop making yourself a girl, you're never gonna do it because it's coming up inside of you naturally, and the only way you're gonna get rid of it is naturally as well. You have to understand where it's coming from, because once you understand something, it allows you to it takes the power away from it so that you no longer feel compelled to act on it.
Okay.
All right, man.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Peace.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, man, guys, you got it. Like Benjamin said, a lot of you guys' problems are coming from within.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like I find that this is perhaps a side effect of self-improvement, but I think more often than not, the solution is subtraction rather than addition. Because you know this as well, right? When you go on a date with a girl or you meet a new girl, it's more so a matter of not fucking things up than it is doing a bunch of special tricks or, like you said, being a clown or putting on a show. Like, the reason most guys are ruining their chances with women is because the woman allows them a physical manifestation for them to project their own insecurities, right? When it comes time for me to approach the girl, if I'm afraid to approach her, it's not because she is making me nervous. It's because she is causing she's the stimuli that's causing the response in my brain that makes me realize and brings to the surface the issue of, I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear of failure. I put too much investment and too much stock in what a woman thinks of me. I take rejection personally. The way a woman views me is how I view myself. So this is not a girl problem. This is a you problem. And trying to add a bunch of stuff on top of that is usually just going to distract from the problem and put you down a rabbit hole, adding a bunch of different things that aren't really going to fix the cause. It's like, you can take, if you have a headache, if I get migraines, right, and my migraines are caused by lack of sleep or a bad diet, you can take Advil and it's going to make the headache go away temporarily, but it's not going to address why you're getting the headaches in the first place. And I would urge all of you, I mean, Fit's channel is based on self-improvement, right? I would urge all of you, when you're dealing with a problem, instead of trying to throw like the 7 hacks or the 5 secrets or the 3, whatever listicle thing that most people do, I would try and reflect and crack into, where is this problem coming from? Because once you understand the problem, you take the power away from it, and now you've reacquired that power, and you can choose where your attention goes and how to redirect it.
Yeah, basically, you a bitch, all right? You're acting like a bitch. Then drop your nuts. It comes down to that. Start dropping your nuts. All right, cool. All right, let me. Next person. If you don't have your camera on, we're not calling on you guys. If you don't have your camera on, we're not calling on you. Have a question ready to go, straightforward. All right, let me get the next person. 1 second, Benjamin. Adib.
Yo,
What's good, man? What you got for us?
I got a simple question, like it's a quick one.
Speak
What do
up,
you think?
speak up.
Hello?
Get closer to the mic.
Yeah, hello. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. I got a simple question. What do you think is better and why? Indirect or direct open up during a cold approach?
All right, Benjamin.
Yeah, so it depends. The benefit of direct is that if you're a beginner and you're nervous, it's easy to like just know, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to say, excuse me, hi, I saw you, I thought you were cute, I wanted to meet you. That's easy. You can remember it. It's a line. It just reduces the complexity and the nerves, because that's one less thing you need to be concerned and worried about fucking up when you're in the interaction. The downside of a direct approach is that you're going to be judged based on how you executed the approach. So if you went in, your body language or your tonality was off, or you didn't get in front of her the right way, and you just didn't execute the introduction correctly, at that point, she's going to write you off. The problem with a direct approach as well is that you're asking the girl to make a snap judgment of you right then and there. Basically, she's going to look you up and down and then decide based on how you executed the approach whether or not she likes you and whether or not she's going to entertain the conversation. All of that being said, I think a direct approach more often than not is just the easiest way to do something, especially if you're a noob, because it allows you to have that intent in the conversation. Whereas if you did something indirect, like you made a comment or an observation, like sometimes I just open with, excuse me, what's your name? And then I just start flowing from there. The problem is if you do that, but you don't know how to communicate intent with your body language, your vibe and your aura, your eye contact, etc., she's going to be like, why are you talking to me? What is the point of this conversation that's going nowhere? So there's a time and place for both. At the gym, for example, an indirect approach might be better. Or if you're in a club, you might be able to make a comment about the drink that she has or her outfit. Or if there's some environment that you're in that makes it easy to create an indirect comment, that can be better. The more natural and organic something is, the better. But there's also pretty natural and organic as long as you go up and execute it correctly doing the direct. So there's a time and place for both. There's no wrong or right answer. But I would say typically if you're just starting out, direct is going to be most effective.
All right, so I have a different viewpoint with approaching. I think the reason why guys struggle with approaching so much is because you have a lot of outcome dependence, right? You want a specific outcome. You want this girl's number. You want to go on a date. I look at approaching as I'm trying to see, why should I fucking go out with you? Why should I invite you to be a part of my life? What in this conversation will make me say, hey, let's hang out another time? So I've found that helps a lot of guys get rid of all this anxiety because I don't want you to get the fucking number. I don't want you to get on the date. I want you to talk to her, see if she's engaging in conversation simply by just asking her things about herself. And if she is engaging and you would want to see her again, then you invite her to come out with you. I don't want to go out with a girl who can't even engage in the conversation with me in a minute, 2 minutes. I don't want to take her out on a date. I don't know why you guys do. If I go up to a girl and I say, hey, my name is FITXFEARLESS, how's it going today? And she's hitting me with a fucking attitude, or she doesn't even reply with her name, why would I still ask her for a number? Why would I still want to go on a date with her? So the conversation for me is just as much her showing me why I should give her a shot as, me having a good conversation. I guarantee you motherfuckers start believing that women should fucking compensate you for being a part of your life, you will stop looking at approaching as such a big deal. But a lot of guys don't have this internal confidence. You haven't built yourself up to believe that women should be proven to you why they should be a part of your life. So you go up to a girl, you instantly put her on a pedestal. You instantly want her number. You instantly want to take on a date. I don't have that mindset. What about you is going to make my life better? I'm a man. I'm going to come up to you and have a conversation. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to have the balls to do that. Okay, now what? If I talk to you, if I ask you some questions, you say some stupid shit, have a nice day. All right? That's how I view approaching. I don't want your number. I don't want to go on a date. If this conversation does not go the way I want it, have a nice day. Okay?
Yeah, can I add on to that, Fit?
Right.
Because I think that the independence of outcome is something that's big. And I see someone commented, what's the point of going up to a girl wondering why should I go out with you? The point that I don't want to speak for Fit, but the point that I think he's trying to make, and the way I like to do it is, when I go into an interaction, I don't go in assuming that I already want to take her on a date, I already want to make her my girlfriend, or that I'm already sold on her. The way I approach, whether it's a cold approach, whether it's a first date, a second date, you're never going to know until you know, right? So the way I view dating is, it is a playful exploration where I am screening her and I am seeing if there is compatibility there, because she may be a great person, but she may not be the right person for me, right? I don't like dating certain types of girls, but Fit might like dating certain types of girls, right? So the conversation is really just a playful, fun exploration of that. And what Fit says of going in there and seeing how it goes and basing what your action and execution is after that, is huge. And the fact that a lot of guys go into the interaction already sold on the girl, already wanting to date her, is what actually causes a lot of the fear of rejection and a lot of the anxiety going into the interaction, because you go in with the assumption that she's perfect for you and that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, when you can go up, she may be less attractive than she looked from 5-10 feet away. She may smell bad. She may have a terrible attitude. You have no idea what it could be. 2-3 dates in, you find out there's some deal breaker, like she doesn't want to have kids, or she never wants to live in the city that you want to live in, right? So there's so much here that can go wrong, that going in with the assumption that this needs to work is completely false and the root of a lot of anxiety. So what Fit said about outcome independence is extremely, extremely important.
So quick touch up on that. You see the question the guy asked, it puts perspective on where a lot of guys think. Why would I go up to a girl if I don't want to already go out with her? So you've already made the assumption because she looks a certain way, she now deserves your time. And then you wonder why these girls don't respect you. You wonder why these girls flake. You wonder why they play games. You have no standard for yourself, only looks. Her face and her body is good enough for you to go spend time with her. And you wonder why she's playing games with you. Are you shocked that she flakes? Are you shocked that she goes? If you don't have no fucking standards, just because she looks good, you already sold. That's why women treat us like this, guys. That's why they play these stupid ass games. Because God, let me get some pussy is the most important thing to me. You need fucking ass. And then they're like, oh, I don't want to fuck this dude because he's not a catch. So if you don't have standards, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked why women treat you a certain way. All right?
Yeah, and again, I'll address one last piece of that because I think you make the great point. The way women approach it, you can learn a lot from the way women approach dating, because although men are the initiators and the pursuers, women are the one with the standards in deciding how far it goes and at what cadence, right? If you go into a first date and the girl doesn't want to physically escalate or get intimate with you, then she set the bar on how fast it's going based on her standards and based on what she requires to get to that point. So what I would recommend is the way women have standards and the way they're not just sold on a guy simply because of the way he looks, at least high quality women, the women you would want a relationship with, you should adopt that same mentality, because if you think about it, women have maximum abundance. So their dating strategy is going to be that of filtering for the highest quality people based on this large pool of options. So what Fit said is exactly correct. And I would understand, like, okay, the reason a girl wants to know my personality, she wants to know what I do for a living, she wants to know what my lifestyle is because she has a certain standard for the type of man she's going to want to date, and just money or just looks or just game and isolation, none of these things are going to be enough to make me want to date him. So yeah, totally agree, Fit.
Exactly. All right. Have a good one, bro.
All right, later.
Let's go. 1 second. Let's go, Ross. Good, Ross.
Hi, gentlemen. Thank you for having me on the show. My question is also on cold approach, and it is whether you should start the approach with a compliment, because I know, Benjamin, you do this, but Fit is not a big fan. So could you discuss the pros and cons of complimenting in the approach?
You want to start, Benjamin?
Yeah, so the benefit, it's kind of like I alluded to earlier with the direct approach, where that if you do start with a compliment, number one, it allows there to be some intent in the interaction. She knows why you're there. She knows it's a romantic interaction. So there's not going to be that objection in her mind of like, why is this guy sorry, my mic may have cut out. I got an incoming call. There may be that objection of, why is this guy talking to me? What is the point of this conversation? Whereas if you go up and you compliment her, it's set there from the start. So for beginners, this is very good. And I would say even as advanced, it can be good too. The way I like to compliment a girl, you can't say something like, I thought you were cute, or I like blah, 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 whatever it is. The benefit of doing this, and the reason that you can get away with it in person versus dating apps, is because the pool of men who are approaching women day to day is extremely small. When I approach women or I date women that I've met through in-person approaching, they say that they basically never get approached, even super attractive women. So what you can get away with in an in-person interaction, you don't need a sophisticated funnel or sophisticated photos or sophisticated game, because there's simply less competition and a smaller frame of reference. like I said, the downside of a compliment is that the girl is kind of going to make a snap judgment of if she's willing to give you, a couple minutes of her day. But I don't think a lot of guys say that you'll give you too much power away by complimenting the girl up front. I disagree in that if something as small as saying a girl looks good or calling her cute or saying you liked her outfit or her vibe, if that is you giving your power away, if that small gesture is you giving your power away, then you never really had power to begin with. And the real power, or the way the frame or the dynamic of a relationship isn't really set until the first date and how things progress after that. So I don't mind doing it. Again, it's a preference, but I would say overall, it makes it easy for there to be intent in the interaction from the start.
Okay, so for me, I don't believe in compliment women at all, because I think it automatically puts them on a pedestal. And I respect what Benjamin is saying, but just in my experience, I think leading with that compliment, you're subconsciously saying, I came up here because I already value you to a certain extent. I think there are a lot of beautiful women, but I don't know if I'm going to like you just because you're beautiful. So I don't want looks for men to be the number one thing that you're judging women off of. That's why I think a lot of guys get into these toxic relationships with girls, because you're looking at it from just looks. I need to know, what about you do I like? I will compliment a girl on her attitude before her looks. I would say, like, you're very nurturing, you're very caring, like you seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. I like the things that are intangibles about women, because she didn't have to work for her fucking looks. She, like, congratulations, you're hot. There's another girl that's hot. What about you is different that can improve my life? So that's my pretense. I'm always like, I don't give a fuck how you look. What about you? I obviously find you attractive. And this, me coming up to you, is a form of me letting you know that I found you attractive. But now I need to know, why should I go out with you? And I don't want to put women on a pedestal. But like Benjamin said, if you're a new guy, you can experiment, right? You can experiment. Experiment with just telling her she looks good. If I would take that over not talking to the girl. So a lot of you motherfuckers just don't even talk to the damn girl. If it requires you saying that, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I don't mind it.
I would say the caveat that I would add, obviously we have differing opinions, which is great. That's why this is fun. The caveat that I would add is that I don't think that giving a compliment, especially something so small, is gonna be enough to determine the overall frame and dynamic of a relationship long term, especially if you know how you'd like your relationships and the way you set a dynamic earlier on. The other thing too is that I think when you do compliment the girl, the way you compliment is extremely important. So me personally, I compliment women all the time on their appearance, on a date, on an approach, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But the reason it doesn't matter, and I'm able to get away with it, and this is what I've done with lots of my clients that I've coached privately as well, is that we approach the compliment from that same exact outcome independence that you mentioned earlier. When the girl knows that I'm complimenting her, but I'm not expecting anything in return, or I'm not doing it in a gimmicky way, when she knows that it's genuine, it's a very different conversation than, hey, I thought you were cute. What's your name? Totally different, because I can compliment someone and not care if they like it or not. That was just me speaking my mind and me wanting to say something that came to mind. So I don't think, for me personally, it doesn't make a big difference. And I don't feel like it puts the woman on a pedestal. Granted, like you said, it comes from the right place. So I do agree with you in that most of the guys are complimenting girls from the wrong place, from that sense of that inner nice guy who's trying to manipulate her through compliments, or thinks that that's what he needs to do to get laid or to get the girl to like him back. Whereas if you're just being genuine, like, hey, I saw you, I thought you looked really cute, I wanted to come say hi. What's your name? Cool. What are you up to? Do you live around here? Oh, nice. You seem kind of like, oh, you're coming from work. You do seem kind of like a yoga chick. What kind of workouts do you like? That's very different, right? Because then we just jump. The opener also, for me personally, the opener doesn't matter, right? In that it just gets me there, because it's the first 2 seconds. Then I'm in the conversation, right? And then we're moving on to everything else. And my whole vibe and aura is not that of validation seeking. It is that playful exploration that we talked about. But again, like you said, a lot of guys are approaching it from that scarcity mindset, from that outcome dependence, which is exactly what you want to avoid.
Perfect.
Yeah, good to hear both perspectives. And if you allow me very quickly, should you get the Instagram or the number when you close?
Go ahead, Benjamin.
I always prefer the Instagram. At the end of the day, you're a stranger. Sometimes you have a minute in the interaction before you have to go or she has to go. The Instagram removes that stranger danger. It also allows you to build a relationship and build familiarity over time. She sees your story. She sees your posts. She sees you're a normal guy, especially if an Instagram profile that shows your lifestyle and how epic you are. I just think it's a no-brainer. You also get less friction. Women will be more likely to give you their Instagram than a phone number. And guys will say, oh, they'll just give it to you because they're looking for free followers. Number one, unless you're approaching like bottom of the barrel girls who are like clout chasey, it's not the case. In worst case, you follow her, she doesn't follow you back, you just unfollow. Like, did you really lose anything? Like, no, not really. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Instagram, especially because I think guys don't have a great Instagram. And I literally had a guy come on here, a live stream 2 weeks ago, and was like, he was talking to this girl, she got his Instagram, and then instantly her attraction disappeared. Right. So if you have a fire Instagram, right, nice photos, like Benjamin said, it can work. Right. But if you don't, and she offers, so this is what I want to say. If she, let's say you ask for a date, right, and she then goes, here's my Instagram, then I say, hell no. Like, if she agrees to a date and then you guys exchange Instagram, that's one thing. But if you ask her out and she offers her Instagram in place of the date, that girl, nine times out of 10, she's gonna fucking flake on you, right? And so you got a lot of more work to do for yourself, because that's an indirect rejection, in my opinion, right? So if you say, hey, let's go out, and she goes, here's my IG, and she doesn't say yes to the date, there's a problem. If she says yes to the date and you have a good Instagram, okay, you can exchange Instagram. All right.
Okay.
Can I ask you something on that, Fit? Because I'm curious your take on this. Do you think, it sounds like you think it's a bad thing to not necessarily, if a girl has like some friction or some resistance to meeting up on the date? Is that right?
Yeah. So me, ever since I came on YouTube, I've always been about high interest. Mm-hmm. I'm not such a big fan of guys just fucking every girl. I would much rather guys spend time with girls that really are into them. And if that means I have to do more work on myself to be with that kind of girl, yes. But I think higher interest women, they bring the best out of you as a man. So I don't want to deal with women who are bringing any friction at all. If there's friction for me to go on this fucking date, I'm out. That's just me though.
Yeah, the reason I ask is because when I think about it, I don't necessarily get deterred by the friction, because if I'm thinking about from her perspective, right, a super attractive girl, a higher quality girl who has lots of options, guys who are in similar positions as you, right, in the marketplace, I can, because women have so much options and abundance, of course there's going to be there's always going to be some friction or some barriers to getting them out on a date, just because they need to be selective. That's just the nature of how women of the female dating strategy. So I don't necessarily take it personally or assume negative intent or assume low interest. I just assume this is just friction that I can deal with, because I know once I go on the first date and that frame and that connection is established, then basically all the friction goes away. So the way I approach it is I'm okay with some friction, and the girl may be uncertain about whether she goes on the date, or she may be wishy-washy about committing to the date because she doesn't know me yet. So I'm not really taking it personally because I know once I get her on the first date, that's when all the friction will go away, because now she knows me. She's put a face to the name. There's a connection there, and a lot of the frame was able to be built. So I guess that's kind of where we disagree. But I think also you're a guy with super high SMV, right? Like you're fucking jacked, you're handsome, good shape, make good money. So it is just simpler to just go for high interest girls because then it just doesn't take up a lot of time.
Yeah. And that's my thing, Benjamin. That's my thing. I think a lot of guys. So this goes back to my whole wanting guys to be well rounded. I think guys, they forfeit. Pussy is so fucking important to them that they would rather just go on that date, even if it's with a girl that doesn't have the highest interest in them, than improve the rest of your life to go out with girls that actually like you. I'm not a fan of that. I think that as a man, women cannot be the number one priority in your life. You got to be not only in great shape, but you got to make good money. You got to be like, there needs to be a lot of things going on outside of women. So I refuse to be spending that much time with like women, especially women that are not at least coming to me with a decent amount of interest. I would rather just work on myself than to go out with a girl that gives me, she's not so sure about me. That's just me.
Yeah. So the way I would ask is I've coached lots of guys with like, man, some of the guys I've coached in Manhattan, 8-9 figure net worth, have had multi-billion dollar companies. And they're at a point where they're basically retired or they're in a financial position where they never need to work again. Crazy SMV, good shape, insane amounts of wealth. And even they get insane levels of friction to getting some of these girls out on dates. I lived in LA during like the peak YouTube influencer rush, like 2018 to 2020. I had friends, 3 million followers on IG, blue tick before you could pay for it. And even they get friction to getting some of the highest quality girls out on dates. And the reason for this is, from my experience, what I've observed is that when you're going for certain types of women who are a certain level of attractiveness and certain personality quality that you're looking for, their entire pool of options just becomes guys like you, guys like some of my clients who are super wealthy, or guys with lots of clout. She's only dealing with guys who are making 6-7 figures. She's only dealing with guys who are in good shape. She's only dealing with guys who have good social skills. So that friction is number one, to find guys who are a little bit more serious and have more interest in seeing her specifically, but also just logistically how she wades through her pool of options. In the same way, you are only going for girls who are high interest. She's doing the same thing. If that makes sense? But that doesn't necessarily mean, because there's friction to getting on the first date, that somehow all of your power goes away, or that she's now in control or in command of the relationship, because truthfully, she doesn't know you at that point, and she's not really going to get a good look until that first date. So that's just how my philosophy is different and what I've seen. But again, it depends what you're maximizing for. It seems like you're maximizing for the efficiency and ease, and just, okay, I want to go on a date with a chick. I don't want to spend a bunch of time. So it makes a lot of sense to me as well.
Yeah. So my thing is, that same girl, she would have given, there's somebody that she would have went on a date with less friction. On some totem pole, there's a guy that she didn't put as much friction to go on a date with. So in my mind, that's like, okay, I need to be that guy for that girl. So if a girl is giving you friction in any kind of way, she doesn't see you as the best option, and she needs more convincing. I would rather a guy improve himself. And for me, high quality doesn't necessarily mean a girl with a bunch of followers. Like, I like a simple girl who's beautiful, who isn't all over the social media. Like, that kind of girl, like, she's not gonna play that kind of game with a bunch of men. So my definition of a high quality girl, she probably doesn't have 1 million followers on IG and isn't trying to fuck every celebrity, right? She's probably not on IG. She's probably private. And if a handsome guy comes up to her and he's good looking and he can talk well, right? Because she's not putting herself out there, right, for attention, she's more high quality than me. Women who are like dating several dudes are not high quality than me. Like, I don't give a fuck how beautiful you are. If you are out here with 1 million followers entertaining 10 dudes, that in my opinion, that race will never end. There's always a better dude than you that she will always give a little bit more leeway to, because he just has a little bit more than you. So I don't deem that girl as high quality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but the way I would, my point of view would be that if there's no friction on the front end, then she is basically assuming that your like the surface level assessment of you is who you really are, and then she's dating you for that surface level assessment of you rather than the actual relationship that you guys have and the connection that you have and how it evolves over time, which is, at least for me, I understand that level of friction because even like similar to you, I work a lot, I have multiple businesses, I travel, I have lots of things lots of interests and things that I do in my life. So there is friction for me to go on a date with a girl. I have to be convinced, right? I have to think that we're going to have a good connection. She's someone that I could spend time with beyond just sex, because I'm kind of at the point where just sex is not really a motivator for me in going on dates with women. So me going through that, like me knowing like, hey, I may ask her for it. She may not respond to my message once. I feel zero shame sending another message or sending a follow-up message. And I would say some of the most attractive girls, some of the highest quality girls, personality-wise, who I've gone out with, I probably needed to follow up once or twice. And I don't think that's necessarily a reflection of myself or where I stand in the sexual marketplace. I think it's more so a reflection of a woman is not going to be necessarily convinced on the front end always, or at least certain women are going to value the relationship more. And your external lifestyle and your status plays a big part in that. But like I said, she probably has lots of, if she's the quality of woman that you described, I mean, every successful rich guy I know wants a girl like that, right? So these are all the types of guys that you're going to be competing with. So of course there's going to be some sort of friction or some sort of vetting process that she's going to go through.
Yeah, I got you. I just think that kind of girl though, like the kind of girl that I believe is high quality, she's not entertaining guys to see who's that's not how she's going about dating, right? I mean, girls with a lot of followers and they're beautiful, guys might think they're high quality. That's not what I deem as high quality. I deem high quality as,
well, she's not going on dates, but the fact is she's not going on dates with them, right?
Yeah, but
she may be texting, or they may be trying to get her out on a date, which is why she has the friction to begin with.
But there's some dude that she doesn't have that friction with. Like at some level on the totem pole, there's a dude that everybody else is going to take backseat to. So that to me is already a bad sign. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if
I do, but this is what I'll say. My counterpoint is that I've worked with guys, I've coached some guys privately on their dating who are literally worth billions of dollars. Blue check mark. They have not a ton of followers, but they do have, it's very obvious by their lifestyle that they have status. And the guys that they're competing with are just other guys who are in that level. And I'm seeing some of these guys have to send another message or have to know how to deal with the friction that a girl like this may have of going on a first date. So is there someone who she may not have that friction with? Maybe, perhaps. But I think a girl who's very serious about a relationship and wanting to settle down with someone long-term, the judgment call is going to be based on how she feels that relationship provides for her, not necessarily the external, surface level analysis of his sexual market value. But again, it just depends on what you're optimizing for. And when I think about like guys that I've coached who are worth 8, 9, fucking 10 figures, or have tons of followers and have as much status as one can reasonably assume, the only way that they could reduce that friction is to perhaps like become fucking Drake or something like that. And that's just like not a feasible option for most guys. And the other thing is, I lived in LA for years. I dated girls who had been with guys like Drake or other celebrity level dudes, or had gotten DMs from guys like this. I was just hanging out with one of my clients a couple of days ago, and he told me his ex-girlfriend used to get DMs from like Leonardo DiCaprio, and they didn't just immediately go on a date with him or immediately fall in love with him and go for it, because the surface level SMV analysis of that guy wasn't all they needed to go on a date.
But that's my Benjamin. That's my point. That kind of girl that was his ex-girlfriend that was entertaining men like Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't be a girl that I deem as high value.
Well, is getting a DM from Leonardo DiCaprio entertaining him? You say he had to follow up with her though. So that means that she
she viewed her options and him at the moment, and he wasn't Leo to her. Like that kind of girl, like in my opinion, that shit never ends. Like he will never be good enough for her because she thinks that there's another guy out there that's better than her. I would much rather guys say,
Well,
hey,
if a girl has friction on, I know we're lingering on this, but I think this is super
Yeah.
interesting. We can move on whenever you're ready. But I think if the girl has friction, the very fact that a girl has friction to go on a date with anybody, even if they are celebrities, even if they are super high ultra net worth, the very fact of that means that she isn't entertaining lots of these guys because she won't even go on a date with them. She has these are guys who, if she said yes to, or if she replied to, she could go on dates with. But the fact that she has so many options and she's not pursuing them, and there is that friction to go on the first date, by nature, by the very fact of that, most of the time, right, is going to mean that she's by very definition isn't entertaining lots of guys, if that makes sense.
I got you. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get to the.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you both.
You got a question ready, Stefan? Stefan, are you ready? Okay, let me bring you on here. Stefan.
What's good? Y'all can hear me clear?
Yep, what's good, bro?
Oh, what's good, man? What's good, Bezus? How y'all doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I love the stream. Fit, I've called in a couple times, so you may remember or not. I might be a little more black pilled than you, but basically, I love your channel, obviously. But my question had to do with sexual market value versus relationship market value, and this whole friction thing. Some of the stuff you guys brought up, I think, might be related to that. And just to cut this down, because I don't want to take too much time, because I want to hear both your thoughts. The way I friction, I personally don't deal with too much because I'm kind of like Fit. I kind of try to filter out to high interest as quickly as possible. I go for the number. Within the first minute, if I'm not getting a certain like reaction or body language or compliance, I'm out of there anyway. So because I don't feel like I should bother women who aren't into me, and a woman that I'm not into, I'm not going to waste her time either. So, but anyway, with the friction thing, I think a lot of guys, or like when Benjamin was bringing up women not knowing him, so when they first meet him, all they had to go off is the surface level, and he's not offended by how they're assessing him because they don't really know him yet. So I do agree with his, the way he frames it, because that's the way I look at rejection. So if I get rejected in that minute per se, or if I eject myself out of the situation because I'm not getting attraction, I don't look at that as a bad thing, because I'm just like, oh, okay, she don't even know me like that. I'm not her cup of tea, whatever. But I think some of the things Benjamin brought up, they have more so to do with relationship market value, whereas Fit kind of looks a lot at sexual market value. And I think the good thing about Fit, when he emphasizes being well-rounded, is that there are certain traits. If there's a Venn diagram with SMV on one side and RMV on the other side, I think Fit, a lot of his philosophy focuses on men building themselves up, but kind of building those traits up in the middle, which have kind of appeal, whether it's in SMV or in RMV. Because I think the high quality women that FITX is talking about, they are constantly filtering out men through both lenses. They're not like, they don't stop for 1 second and say, okay, I only want to date this dude based on looks, and then the next second I'm going to date this dude on money or relationship or emotional compatibility, blah blah blah. Now they'll do that if they have to with the options they can at a particular point in time, but on a rolling basis, they're assessing men on these traits. So I think Fit is saying, when he meets a woman, if she doesn't like my traits that are on or in the middle or on the SMV side of that Venn diagram, like my looks, my physicality, my charisma, my masculinity, my identity, my how I lead, my prowess, or social awareness, all these type of things that are beyond just the looks, but they're included when she first sees you and first meets you, before you even get to that first date. she can even assess it if she sees you in a group or at a party talking to other people. She can assess some of these traits. So I think Fit is saying if I'm getting friction, that means she hasn't deemed me valuable enough in that realm. So for me to meet her on that first date and then to display some other traits that lean more towards the relationship market value side, as in maybe I have resources, maybe I have a high IQ, maybe I'm a good protector, good education, maybe I'm mentally healthy, I come from a good family, I can carry a good conversation, I have good character, we have similar hobbies. That's putting me in more of a realm of either a friend or kind of a back burner. Oh, I'll wait and see, because I had friction, but he gave me comfort. And now the friction is gone, but he never had that initial assessment that FitX got when he originally met her before he even got on the date. So whether it's Drake or whether it's a broke dude that she knew from college that is 6'3" and is broke, but he just has everything else checked on the list, or whether it's a guy that she got introduced from another hot girl, so she trusts him off the bat, or whatever it is, I think FitX is kind of looking at it the right way, whether you're dating to pump and dump or for long term. Because like I said, some of those qualities in that Venn diagram in the middle, whether you want to wife them or pump and dump or something in between, those are all going to be important, whether again it's looks, neurotypicality, charisma,
so let me
selection, all that good stuff y'all talk about.
Hold up, bro. Let me clarify. I don't want you to go on too long.
Oh, no, my point is finished, so y'all can take it away.
So for me, I understand that the modern woman, right, for the most part, is dating and sleeping with several dudes. And to me, I don't think that's a fair deal for men. Because if you're fucking several dudes and you're entertaining several dudes, I have no incentive to want to provide for you for something long term. Or at least I need to know that there's a genuine level of interest for me to continue. Because how many guys who are watching right now have went out with a girl, right? And you realize, damn, she's just trying to use me for this date, or she's just passing time. I think a lot of time ends up being wasted when you deal with girls who are not genuinely into getting to know you. I don't expect that a girl's gonna want to give me some pussy like this, but I'm saying you gotta at least be wanting to go on a date with me, to like me that much to say, hey, okay, I wanna see what it's about with you. I don't think it's fair. Like, you fucking Tyrone, you fucking James, you fucking this dude, and now you making me kind of wait. I don't know. That's not a good deal for me. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Yeah, so I think where we differ, and the way my point of view is different, is that the assumption you're operating from is that she is, so the assumption is that she doesn't want to date you. She won't go on a first date with you. Where what I'm saying is, if a girl is not responding to my messages, or she shows zero interest or zero intent, there's no point talking to her, right? Doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that a girl's interest in going on a date with you is conditional. And that's just the fact of how it is for everyone, right? So a girl's interest in going on a date with you is conditional. And especially going on that first date, there's a lot of conditions that are going to make her want to go on it. If we're talking, listen, there's some girls who are clout chasers, will go on a date with anyone who has a little bit of money or whatever it is. But if we're talking about a girl who is probably relationship material, then her interest in going on the date is going to be conditional on a couple things. And you dealing with that friction is really just figuring out what are the conditions that are going to make her agree to go on that initial date. And in the same way, when I approach a girl, I don't take it personally if I get rejected. I don't take it personally if there's some sort of friction to going on the date. She doesn't know me, right? She can maybe go off my Instagram. She can maybe go off my initial approach. But in the same way, you would want a girl who's not giving it out to everyone. If she is immediately giving it to you just immediately because she sees you, I would categorize those as similar things.
Yeah. So this is how I view high quality girls. I think a girl, if she's a real genuine high quality girl, she's not giving her number out to dudes she wouldn't date. So if you give me your number, right, you should have, wherever I get your number at, whether that be in person, whether that be on Instagram, you deem me as a guy that you would want to date. So if you give me, if we exchange numbers and then you still go on about these games, then that tells me that you're doing this with several dudes. If she says, hey, I'm not interested at all, I can say, okay, I'm not her type. That's the friction I'm willing to accept because she didn't even let me in the door because she was never into me. But if you let me in the door, right, and then you come up with the games, that means I know you're doing this with so many other dudes. You're fucking entertaining all these dudes, and then you're trying to see who's the best guy for you. No, if a girl rejects me, she rejects me. But you make me, we exchange numbers, and then you still play in the game.
Oh yeah.
I'll give you an example of friction that will probably illustrate my point, and what I mean is very brief. A lot of times when I go on first dates with girls, they compliment me, or they say that they appreciate the fact that I picked the venue, I picked the time, and I organized all of the logistics. And a lot of times they'll say, well, if I match with, let's just take a dating app, right? If I match with a guy on a dating app and he asks me to go on a date, and then he's like, where do you want to go, or where should we go? And he can't organize the logistics. He can't tell me what time to show up. He can't go on Google Maps and pick a place. Basically, if he's not man enough and doesn't know how to take the lead and organize logistics for a fucking 1 hour drink date or a 1 hour dinner date, then she's not interested in him. So that is a level of friction where she's not going to go out of her way to, you're dealing with friction regardless. She's not going to, most of the time, they're not going to suggest a date. Most of the time, they're not going to do a lot of participation in planning the date. They may tell you their schedule, but it's on you as the man to plan the date. So the fact that a guy, and if you think about it too, from the girl's perspective, if a guy doesn't know how to take the lead and can't fucking use Google Maps to pick a date and a time and like tell her where to be and what to do, then of course she wouldn't want to go on a date with him, because he's not going to be the right guy for a relationship, because he can't even make a decision on where to get fucking dinner. Does that make sense? That's the type of friction that I'm talking about, where a guy would say, oh, I asked her on a date, and then she said yes, and then I said, where should we go, or something like that. It's like, brother, you weren't taking the lead. What if you can't do that for the first date? Why would you want to even potentially entertain a relationship?
Okay, because how I was gonna say how I define friction would be like, if I'm saying something and it either it feels like I'm pulling teeth, like I say a neutral statement and it feels like I'm pulling teeth, or I'm pretty much doing everything and she's going out of her way to redirect it. And it's not like she's being sarcastic or funny. It's like she'll purposely like misinterpret something I said or something. Like, for instance, the opposite of that, like when I said I don't really deal with friction because of like how I try to filter that out early. The last time I talked to a virgin, I'm being realistic. I was like maybe 22 at the time. She was 19. This is way back in college. And I didn't hit, like she was still a virgin for years later, super religious, all that, dentist, like super smart chick, whatever. The reason I never smashed was because she didn't like the fact that I was agnostic. So when we started talking, she was like, you know, if you're going to date me and we're going to move forward, like like my family is devout Christians. I cannot get married to someone who is agnostic or another religion. And I respected that. But up to the point we got that, like when we were just chilling in a dorm or going on dates on campus and stuff like that, when we were first talking, I think she was like a sophomore at the time. I always knew there was a mutual attraction. Like from the jump, there was never like, oh, I don't know if she's lying. I don't know, And of course, I was hitting other chicks on the side back when I was younger. But before it got super serious, we had multiple talks and she never let me hit because of that. And I respected that. And because I wasn't willing to budge on my religion, I had to stop talking to her. And I was like, you know, I respect that, whatever, you cool as hell. I'm still friends with her to this day on Facebook. But she never gave me friction is my point. She never put me in a box where it was like I was pulling teeth. I was questioning if she was attracted. You know, she wasn't playing games like Fit was saying, entertaining dudes. If I was willing to be religious, I could have literally, you know, been her boyfriend, took her V card and all that good stuff. But I just wasn't willing to do that just to get boxed. But no matter how high quality the woman is, you still can deal with her without having that initial friction.
Stefan, appreciate
my bad.
You got it. No, we got to speed it up. We got to speed it up. All right. Appreciate you. Let's get to the next person. I appreciate your.
Oh yeah, thank you, Base Juice. I love y'all thoughts. That was great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
All right, peace. Guys, let's keep the questions straightforward, please, please, please. We don't got that a lot of time, maybe 30 minutes left. So whatever question you have, get straight to it. Let's go, Felix. You're muted, bro. You're muted.
How you doing, brother?
What's good, man?
All right, so I took your advice. I appreciate you. I've been putting everything to work. No more clubs. No
You
going
sound
out.
kind of far, though. You sound kind of far, man. Speak closely.
Oh, because of my hair. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, bring your phone closer.
I'm using the headphones. That's why. Wait 1 second. One second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good?
Okay, okay. All right, brother. So basically, I took your advice. No clubs, no bars, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a month and a half. None doing none of that, and it's been great. I took your advice. Okay, so now I have an issue right now with this one girl. We've been going out for I think close to 3 months now, 2 3 months. She's been pushing me for a relationship. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
told her that I'm not looking for no relationship, nothing like that, right? But she was like okay, but now she keeps pushing me to ask like, oh, so how many other girls are you smashing? Like all of this, and she keeps asking me to say that like she's the only girl. I told her, no, I can't do that. Like I always just like change the topic where I'd be like, yeah, I still see other girls. I'd be 100% honest. But now it's getting to a point now. It's been here for like 3 4 months, and like I do like her. I think I might make her a relationship, but I feel like if I say, oh, you're the only girl, that's gonna lower my attraction. So I
Okay,
think the
okay.
reason she's attracted. So can you answer now?
Go ahead, Benjamin. I got to speed this shit up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the question is. Are you worried that if you make her your girlfriend that she's gonna lose attraction for you? The only
No,
way.
I feel like if I say, oh, you're the only girl, if I say I don't have any other options, or if I see that, even though I obviously do, that she's going to lower my attraction towards me.
Well, under that logic, if you're married or in a relationship, then it would never work because she's going to assume you have no other options. It's not necessarily that you need to be actively smashing other girls that's going to make her attracted to you. It is the idea that you are the type of man and person who could develop those options if necessary. The fact that you have access to those options is attractive, not the fact that you're actively, slamming a bunch of chicks.
Okay, so how do I portray, like, she wants me to say, like, oh, like, I'm the only girl. So I should say that or no?
Fuck no. If you don't want to be the only girl, don't. It sounds like you want this to work out with her, and you don't want to
No,
lose.
she's been forced. That I've been super distant. Like I see her once every 2 weeks.
But you
All
still
of
care.
that.
If you
Yeah,
tell
that's
her
the
that you
problem.
can't give her what she wants, you tell her you can't. I can't say you're the only girl,
Okay, okay.
right?
All
But
right.
it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like you want to keep this girl.
No, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like I want to do long term, but if I say that, and so you're saying there's no chance of me losing attraction.
No, like Benjamin said, if you weren't about the wrong thing, if whenever you do decide to date her, is she gonna say you don't have she's gonna lose her attraction for you then? The problem is you. You haven't decided what exactly you want. Right? Do you want to date this girl or do you not want to date her? If you
I
don't want
don't.
to date her, don't.
Okay, okay. All right. I appreciate your advice, FITX.
All right, man.
You're a legend. Thank you so much.
All right. Appreciate you. All right, man. We gotta speed these up, man. Y'all motherfuckers. I let too many of y'all talk for too damn long. I got my man Benjamin here staying all day. My bad, Benjamin, man. These dudes. Let's go, Jose.
Hello.
What's good, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I seen both of y'all videos a lot, so it's pretty dope. Y'all collab and stuff. But anyways, so I've been just approaching a lot of females lately, just out and about, and I'm kind of like, I see what y'all saying about like the whole like the talking it out fit, like talking first, seeing like if they cool and all that. But the only roadblock I be coming in with that is I feel like I'll be wasting a lot of time because I'll be talking too much. So like I'll be sitting there talking for like 25 minutes, and then like sometimes I get to the know what I'm saying? I get to the point, and then like I don't know, it just don't really work out. So I'll be like, damn, that's why I've been trying to do the more whole like just pull up and approach and be like, hey, what's up, you beautiful, whoopty whoop, get her info, her number or whatever, and then try to schedule the date. But anyways, the only reason why I'm not fucking with that approach is because basically I was with this one chick, we went on a date. We met 2 days ago, went on a date yesterday, and then I was getting drinks and all that, whoopty whoop, we was chilling. But then I started catching like an odor, and I was like, dang, this girl kind of stink. And I was like, fuck, why am I spending hell? I spent all this like time like on this dumbass date, and now I'm not even trying to reschedule. And she blowing up my phone on some like she vibing with me, but I'm not really vibing back, so I don't really know what to do.
You want to take it first, Benjamin?
So you told us you don't like a girl and you don't know what to do because you don't like a girl. It seems, I mean, just don't see her again. I'm not sure what the question is.
Or like, how do I make sure a girl don't stink though? Cause she was kind of stinking, but I didn't realize that on the first approach. But like I'm saying, like, how do I like get those other things out the way type shit?
You're basically asking how can I get reward with no risk? Anytime we're dealing with people, right? These are relationships are dynamic. You're not going to be. You're basically asking how can I predict every possible negative outcome? You can't. This is something that happened. I wouldn't over intellectualize it. I'd just stop seeing her if you don't want to see her anymore and move on.
All right, for sure.
What I recommend is you do dates that you enjoy doing. That's why I always tell you motherfuckers. If I go on a date I enjoy doing, regardless of whether she's trash or not, I know I'm at least doing something I like. So I'm always trying to get you guys to be in a position of abundance, regardless of the circumstance. If you realize she smelled like ass, and were you enjoying yourself at least? Did you not enjoy yourself? If not, then but there you go. Like he's like Benjamin said, you're not gonna notice until you actually spend time with the girl. Did you not smell her pussy when you approached? Was it a vagina or what was it?
No, I'm just saying like because I was making out with her, and then that's when I was like really close, like getting the whole like
oh my god, okay.
the whole scent vibe. I was like,
she had bad breath.
Yeah, her breath was stinking, so I was like, dang.
Why are you kissing these hoes? First of all,
man, I don't know, man. I was doing some stupid shit, but yeah. So all right, but so I just gotta kind of just see what's up with it, type of thing. Like just
like Benjamin said, like if you can't control that. You got to spend time, regardless of how you obviously did the approach. When you had to figure out that she stunk eventually, so you had to experience that. Now you just move on.
Right? All right. So some L's be happening basically. Like you can't avoid all the L's basically in the dates.
Impossible,
all right.
Bro.
All right, for sure. All right. Appreciate y'all then. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
All right, guys, we got about 20 minutes. I'm keeping my man Benjamin here too long. Y'all gotta hurry the fuck up. Who's next? Who has a good question? Costa Rino.
Oh, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Talk to it.
Okay, so it's like a kind of a tight question. So I was in a how do you call it, a lunch with some people like for the first time, and I met like a fucking hot girl, and I got lucky, and she ended up sleeping with me that night. But the question is, she's engaged and she has a kid, and we exchanged Instagrams after, and now I'm like, I text her the bit, and now I'm like, I don't know if I should keep texting her because her boyfriend is fucking jacked, and I might get shot. I don't know if I should keep it up.
I think you answered your own question, brother. Is it worth getting shot, beat up, dudes showing up to your crib? I don't think so.
I mean, the shooting part, I think it's over, like it's way too much, but.
So let me ask you, you didn't know she was engaged when you, at the thing? You didn't notice?
I mean, she was complaining about her guy. Yeah, I'm not a good guy, but I kind of knew, yeah.
See, see, do you notice the first words you told me? You told us, I got lucky. So look how much scarcity you're in with women. I got lucky. I finally got some ass. Let me guess, Costa Rino. Let me just guess a wild number. In the last 365 days, you haven't been with more than 2 girls.
I've been with like 12 probably.
And you still in scarcity. That means they all
because
they
she
all
was
ugly.
like
they
a
all
10.
They all
half of them, yeah.
Okay, half of them. 50% of the girls I've been with were white. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Because why would you be going to an event? Listen, I don't know about you. If I'm going to an event, I'm having a good time, and a girl is telling me about I wouldn't even be talking to her. Why am I talking to a girl with a I don't Benjamin, would you go to an event and be chit-chatting with a girl that's telling, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Me personally, I just think from an ROI perspective, you get nothing out of being with girls who have boyfriends, husbands, etc. To say nothing of the moral or the ethical issues with it, simply just, are you willing to accept the consequences of he finds out, he wants to show up to your house with a gun, he wants to come beat you up, he wants to do any number of things that can just make your life significantly worse for what exactly? I don't really, for the prospect of zero relationship, because a woman who's doing that is not relationship material. So no. And I would also pay attention. I wouldn't overlook what Fit said. The first thing you said is, I got lucky. Your words have power. They shape the way you think, they shape your beliefs, and they shape the reality that you operate in. And if the words you are using are inherently putting you as undeserving of being with the types of women that you'd like, you're calling it lucky. Yeah. Then it's no surprise that you found yourself in this situation.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I agree, man. You should not be dealing with women with boyfriends. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
What's the point? What the fuck do you get?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was just to make sure. I just.
If you want to be high value, you talking about high value. High value men don't do stupid shit. Dealing with women with a man that can jeopardize your life is doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
All right.
You're right. Yeah.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Max.
All right. We can take a couple more. Owen.
Yo, how's it going?
It was good, man.
Not much. So my question will be short, and I was just going to ask, well, first, Ben, that strategy of bringing up the conversation on dating apps, like within the first 3 messages, that's been like the biggest lever of all time for me. So thank you for that. My question is about that and the friction to approaching. So when you meet a girl at the bar or on an approach, if you don't seed the hangout, I hate using that term, but like if you don't bring up a future hangout, are you still sort of operating in that bringing up the hangout over text like right away, or are you going into more rapport building?
Yeah, it depends. There's 2 ways you can think about it. Number one, there's only so much rapport you can build over text anyways. So whether you build 10, 20, 30% more rapport, it's still small numbers in my opinion. There's a time and place to want to build rapport over text, but to answer your question, I would at least try when you follow up with the girl, I would at least try and have something you guys talked about to call back on and reference in the conversation. If you meet a girl at a bar, even if you didn't see the future hangout, you could say something like, "Oh, cool meeting you last night. Hope you didn't wake up too hungover." She may say something like, "No, me and my friends got back at this time, blah, 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 blah. How was your night?" You can say, "Oh, me and my friends did XYZ. I'll have to tell you about it next time I see you." Right? So that's a very easy way to interject it 1 or 2 messages in, and then you can start pushing the conversation that direction. So yeah, I always try and go for the date relatively quickly because, you know, despite what some guys might think in the chat, I'm not a fan of getting friction, but going for the date earlier on is going to weed out the girls who are just not serious at all about going on a date. So yes, I would still say it's relatively wise to bring it up sooner rather than later.
And then just sort of move on. If, say, you get a negative response, you know, follow up. I know you're big on following up.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a negative response or you don't respond or she doesn't respond, usually it's usually you misread something and you said the wrong thing, which is why, again, when I talk about following up, most of the time you won't need to follow up if you do everything correctly most of the time. The reason a lot of you guys would benefit from following up is because there's leaks in your text game earlier on. You're saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. So it would make sense to try and remedy that by giving yourself another shot, essentially. I mean, if you view it from sales, right? Does it make sense to follow up in sales? Does it demote your value to follow up with someone? I don't think so. So I don't see why it would make the transaction similar here.
Definitely. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Fit, do you have anything to add?
I'm not a fan of following up. Fuck these hoes. I ain't following up with shit. But hey, I agree. Hey, you have the right to experiment with what you feel works best for you. I just don't think it's worth my time. I would just rather go be with a girl who that time I spend trying to get her on a date, I could have found a new girl that actually wants to go out with me. And I refuse. With my experience, I don't know about y'all, but women who give this kind of friction, they don't tend to be the kind of girl I want anything long-term with. That's just me. So I don't, for pussy she's already given out, I'm good. We can keep it. All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take two more, man. Two more guys. Hassan.
What's up, Fit? What's up, Benjamin? How are you guys?
How you doing?
Good, guys. So I want to get to the question real quick. So I remember, Fit, you mentioned Looksmaxxing, right? And you also mentioned how guys should have like a really short beard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, does that work for every guy? And like also with hair, like is having long hair, like does that put you in a niche category? Like longer hair, anything like that?
That's very interesting. So what I'm starting to notice is as I help more and more guys, that certain things work for different guys that don't for other guys. I think that's just reality, right? Maybe a light beard doesn't work for a specific guy because his facial structure is a little bit more round, and if he has a lighter beard, it's going to make his face look more chubby. So he needs a little darker beard. So you got to figure out your phenotype. I always tell guys about phenotype. Look at guys that already look like you, right? That you see that get results on the internet, right? These guys, these thirst trap motherfuckers, like look at how women are reacting to their looks and see which guy looks like me and what can I experiment with. I would say you specifically, me looking at you right now, I think if you tried a 4 millimeter, that'll make your face look better.
So like a little thicker on the beard?
Like the shade needs to be darker.
Darker. I see what you're saying.
You see the same length as this hair right there?
Right here? Yeah.
You see how that's dark? Make the rest of your beard that dark.
Okay, because I was experimenting.
More.
I see. And then with the hair, I like to slick it back. I found results doing that. So just
okay. Whatever look. And guys, I'm all about experimenting. Right now, I'm experimenting, trying to see if I look better with a low taper, curly kind of. I want to know what's the best possible look. So keep trying shit out. See the reactions you get from women.
Yeah. So you said a 4 millimeter, not to cut you off, a 4 millimeter, and then like, do you like fades or do you like not agree with that with every type of guy? Like
fades and where? Your beard or where?
No, on the hair, like a simple like little low taper fade. Is that good to always add on or like?
So maybe this is my fault. Let's not have a one size fits all for everybody. Maybe the taper does not look good for you.
Okay.
But try it. Maybe it makes you look better.
So just keep experimenting.
Till you find the perfect, and the way you do this, guys, is you take photos frequently. I take photos frequently. I experiment. I see the reactions. These fucking dating apps do the work for you. Like you get a new photo, you post that shit on Tinder. If the girls are not liking that photo first, maybe it doesn't work. I posted on my Instagram stories. If girls don't heart it, might be like just keep trying to figure out what works.
Okay, I got it. And then my final question is, do you feel like having no beard at all and just no facial hair, is that gonna like diminish your looks?
What do you think, Benjamin? Want to go?
Yeah. It depends. So exactly like Fit said, you should always be experimenting and seeing the reactions you get. I had one point, I had hair down to here, like my hair came all the way down, and that was probably the most attention I got from women at that time. Like women would approach me when I would be out, or just in general, I got a lot of attention from it. But it was polarizing. Some girls that I knew like would mention on my Instagram, "Oh my God, cut your hair. It looks terrible. You look terrible." When I go out in public, some girls fucking loved it. my hair is naturally curly. I have it straight now, but when it was curly, when my hair is curly, other girls fucking love when it's curly too. Find what's going to be most convenient and easiest for you, and where you feel like you get the most bang for your buck in terms of what's easy for you to do and not a ton to maintain, but also you're going to get a huge reaction. I could probably grow a beard if I did like the minoxidil and like the roller, but it just doesn't grow in correctly. So I'm just clean shaved. But I'm always change my hairstyle like 2-3 times a year. So definitely what Fit is saying is correct.
I got it, guys. Thank you, man. I'll keep experimenting, but I appreciate you guys' advice, man. Thank you.
You got it, bro. Have a good one.
Good question.
Let's go. If y'all want us to do 2 more, we can comment 2 in the chat. Everybody from both channels need to comment the word 2. If y'all want us to do 2 more, comment the word 2. Or we're going to do just 1. We got to see a lot of 2s in here. We got to see a lot of 2s. We're going to see a lot of 2s. If we see a lot of 2s, we're going to go over super chats. I don't know if you have any on your side, Benjamin.
I don't think so. I don't even know if I have super chats enabled on my channel, to be honest. So I don't think so. No, I just checked.
I'm gonna go over the 2 I have. If I see a bunch of 2s, guys, like the damn stream, like it up. We're doing a collab for you guys. It ain't for us. We didn't come together to talk about bitches for ourselves. We came to help you motherfuckers out. So like it up, like it up, like it up. Okay, perfect. We're gonna do 2 more guys. Before we do so, let's look at some super chats. Rob Millis with the 279 Canadian. Would you recommend dating a girl a year older? What do you think, Benjamin?
It depends. Like if you're a guy who's 28, 27, if you're like above 26 or 25, you have to know that if the girl wants a family, there's going to be that time pressure that's going to be a year earlier on you. So you have to plan and understand what kind of relationship you're looking for at what time. Because I mean, when I was younger, I thought it was a ton of fun to hook up with chicks who were like 5-10 years older than me. Like there was a rush. It was just fun. You know, that was just something that was interesting. That I found entertaining and fun at the time. But if you're like 29, 28, and you don't want to have a family, you want to wait 5 more years, she can't wait 5 more years. So it probably wouldn't be wise unless she is okay with waiting 5 more years, in which case then go ahead. There's no like one size fits all. It just depends on what you're looking for.
I 100% agree. Like, especially when you start getting girls around 29, 30, they're going to be letting you know quickly. They don't got time. They ain't going to wait for you for long. All right. Yep. So it's up to you, bro. Jonathan Oliveira, the $2. Appreciate 2 super chat. Thank you guys for all the work you guys do. Appreciate you. Okay, 2 more guys. Let's go. Who's been waiting on us for a while? Bro, if I don't, Mr. Joe, he over here doing all this. I don't know what the fuck you look like. You in the dark. I'm sorry. No, thank you. If you don't have your phone, if I don't visibly see you, no, thank you. Okay. I'm gonna pick this guy. Let me remove you real quick, Benjamin. Let's go. Ekeo. I don't know what your full name is. What's up, bro? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What you got for us?
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I struggle with because of my looks, so I wanted to ask you all for tips on what I can do and what you guys have done. Like, I'm balding. Like, I know I need a hair transplant, but also like, what like for you, Phil, and for Ben, like, what did y'all do to like Looksmaxx? Like, did y'all get like implants somewhere, like lip, or like did y'all like do any like you did veneers, or like what did y'all do to Looksmaxx? Because like I'm struggling with my look right now, and I want to commit like to doing as much as I can. Like, doesn't matter, like either if like I need to fix my teeth as well, so there's just a lot of work I need to do. But I just want to like get yours opinions on like what did y'all do, especially you, Phil. Like, I mean, you look like you were sculpted, so I mean, like, it'd be great to like kind of get tips on that for sure. Like what I can do. Yeah.
For me, I think do as much as you can that is reasonable and not outrageous. So I got veneers, and other procedures, only thing I've gotten outside of veneers was micropigmentation on the eyebrows. But if you have a receding hairline, that needs to be taken care of first, because your upper thirds are just, they just look. I'm looking at you now, like your upper thirds look disproportionate. You have a big forehead like mine, so you need to shrink that as much as possible. And the bald look is only going to make that upper third look bigger. So
Yeah.
think about what you want to do. Do you want to get a hair transplant? If you can afford it, find the best clinic and do so. Get closer to the camera. Let me see you.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit, I got a bad camera, unfortunately, but
yeah, your beard looks scruffy too.
Yeah. Beard looks. Yeah. That's right.
I mean, you could do some personal grooming, bro. You could do your own fucking beard. Your beard should never look fucking tacky. You could do your own beard, right? You can get your teeth fixed. All these things. Are you in great shape at least?
Yeah. I'm in good shape. I'm not like big like you, but like I'm
not big. Are you lean?
Lean. Yeah. I'm lean. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but like, yeah.
Stand up. Let me see your abs. Let me see what they look like.
You want to take off my shirt?
Okay, you ain't that lean. You got the full pack is showing, but you got to get leaner. All those things, in my opinion, play a role into your looks, especially if you're trying to figure out your facial aesthetics. Your body needs to at least be fired.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Any tips, Ben? And by the way, like the beard thing, like you were saying, like they told me, I told them like I don't want a bald look because I don't think it looks good. But like for the beard, like given like I have a rounder face, like what would be your recommendation for the beard? Do I need to grow it out more, or like I don't know?
I would defer to Fit here. I think Fit is the more qualified Looksmaxx advice guy than myself. The two main things that I've worked on have been my hair. I have naturally curly and frizzy hair because I'm mixed. I'm Latino and Black, so you're gonna have more curlier hair and frizzier hair. So understanding how to take care of that, how to make it so I have the option to straighten it like this. I can have curly hair. That's been the biggest thing. And then of course the eyebrows are the only piece of architecture on your face that you can change without cosmetic surgery. So I would think about what kind of changes you can make to I can't see you, but I would think about what kind of changes you'd like to make to your eyebrows that would make a difference. Aside from that, I would just defer to Fit on this.
Yeah, your beard, I would say for you, you gotta let it grow a little higher towards your cheekbone.
Okay.
So it could just give you some angularity. If they're cutting it low, turn to the side real quick. It's kind of dark, man. I can't see shit.
Fuck, damn it. Yeah, I kind of lost my. Yeah. I could pull up my phone real quick and like get in, but like so
it's
you
all
can
good.
see.
It's all good.
Okay.
But I think you should learn some personal grooming. Learn how to take care of your own beard. Like shout out my man Austin Dunham. Like he got a video on YouTube showing guys how to do the beard. That's how I learned. Right, get you the fucking shaver, right, and do the fucking beard yourself. Like line it up. Make sure you always look clean. In terms of your eyebrows, they do need to be thicker. You need to get on minoxidil. Use minoxidil on your eyebrows twice a day for the next year. Once you get a good base, you can then go and get it microbladed or micropigmentation. But the big problem with your looks right now is the hair.
Got you. And you don't think the bald look works, right? Like the bald look doesn't work. Right?
Not for you, because you have your head shape does not, like you gotta look at your specific head shape. I would look horrible bald. Like if you're gonna be bald, your lower thirds, like the bottom 2/3 of your body of your face needs to be on point, like good angularity. You think about like The Rock, Jason Tatum. I think that's his name. Like these guys, if you look at their face, their bottom third is very defined. So them bald like makes them look more masculine. Doesn't make them ugly. When your lower thirds are average and your upper third is bald, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Jaden Statham, my bad.
All right. So a transplant then is the way to go, right? That's what you're saying.
If you can afford it, make sure you do your research though. Don't put that on me. Do your research. All right, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
That's going. All right, before we get to other people, the last person, we got one more super chat. My bad, Benjamin.
All good, bro.
Okay, what other businesses do you have? I'm guessing you're talking about Benjamin.
Yeah, so I have a side jewelry business that I have. And I also do marketing consulting. So like I do marketing consulting for other people with brands or audiences, etc. But this is the main thing I do at the moment, or one of the main things I do.
Awesome. Kuchara with the $5 Bulgarian, I think. I'm dating a girl, but a simp she dealt with in the past is still following her and disturbing her. How to proceed in a situation as a man? Go ahead, Benjamin.
I just say, hey, like, why is she entertaining the I mean, we're missing context, I'm sure, but why is she entertaining the situation? She should just be blocked, and you guys move on with your life and live happily ever after, walk into the sunset.
Yeah, chances are she's entertaining him for a reason that she's not telling you. The free attention that he gives her. That should be a red flag for you. That should disqualify her from something long term if she's not willing to block him, in my opinion. Thoughts on ashwagandha and Tunga Ali? You want to speak on that?
I took ashwagandha in the past. I've experimented with all types of different supplement protocols. At any one time, I'm taking like 1,000,001 supplements. I never really noticed a huge effect with ashwagandha, so I personally don't take it. I've heard of Tongat Ali. I haven't used it.
Yeah, I think I use Tonga Ali, but I think a lot of these supplements, you got to use them for a while to notice the difference. Like the shit that people try to make it seem like, oh, you get on this and bro, that shit is not gonna fucking change your life if your eating habits are trash, if your sleep is trash. Like everything else has to be on point for the vitamins to do their work, right? So you can't get bad sleep, not work out, not do cardio, and have the supplements change your life. Same thing we always talk about. One thing is not gonna fucking change your life. You got to do everything. So don't expect Tonga Ali and ashwagandha to fucking. They ain't gonna do shit. Primarily health, nutrition, health and fitness and nutrition. Those things play a bigger role. Okay. Last guy for the day. Is there anybody you can see in the chat, Benjamin, that you maybe?
I don't see anyone who's backstage, so I can't really tell. So I'll leave it to you.
All right, make your question good, bro, and quick. Let's go. Giros.
So, hey guys.
What's up, bro?
I'm good. What about you?
Awesome.
I want to ask, on the first date, should I pay? You have said that we should go to the girls or either bowling or shooting pool, right?
Should you pay?
Yes.
Oh,
on the
fuck
first
yeah.
date.
I don't know why y'all going to listen. This goes back to going out with women that you're not sure like you. I think you should go out with girls that like you, that you know like you, and you're doing something that you enjoy doing, and you don't have no problem to pay. You're a man. You're a fucking leader. Why the hell will I take a girl on a date and split? That's crazy to me. 50-50 is crazy. I don't believe that.
Yes. You have said that you have to pay when it's your girl. You have something with her, you know.
No, but if it's a first date that I'm inviting a girl on,
yes,
goes back to my point about I'm not going out with every girl. If the girl is showing me genuine interest and I think that I might want something with her and I'm doing something that I enjoy doing, I'm not going on a date and letting her pay. I won't let her do 50-50. It won't happen.
Okay.
What do you think, Benjamin?
Just fucking pay for the date. This is a crazy question, brother.
Yeah.
You watch Fit. You've been you just pay if the $20, $15, $30, whatever it is. Don't go on an expensive date, something you can't afford. Go to fucking coffee, ice cream, $10. If that's a struggle for you, man, I would focus on getting your finances in order before going on dates.
Okay, that's good.
Exactly, because the girl won't respect you, bro. Fuck what these girls are telling you. Ain't no girls respecting like us men. We gotta have a level of responsibility as well. We can't say we want a girl who's this, and this, and then you don't want to lead. Like how willingly would the girl want to follow your lead if she's paying half of it? People are fucking going crazy with this topic on TikTok, talking about some girls who pay half. That is, you pay half with these girls. I guarantee. Y'all heard what Benjamin was talking about? She gonna leave you with better options. You definitely gonna bet she gonna fucking leave you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You best believe she gonna pick another dude.
I understand.
All right.
All right. Yes.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Peace. All right, guys. It was fun. Any closing remarks? Any last advice? I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna go for the guys.
No, I mean, I think overall there were some solid questions. I think you did a great job guiding them and giving them the advice that they're going to need. I think the main thing, kind of like we talked about, is that the type of questions you ask are going to determine the type of the quality of the question you ask is going to determine the quality of the answer that you're going to receive. And a lot of you guys that I've noticed, and this is just in general, ask surface level questions or questions for the sake of asking them, or questions that aren't going to get you the type of response that you're really looking for. And the theme with myself and Fit's questions are really that you want to crack in beyond the surface and get deep to the root that's causing you to be in these situations to begin with and to have these questions to begin with. So I would really try and get deeper and develop that self-awareness and understand, okay, what is the issue I'm struggling with? What is my question? Is this question going to give me the actionable direct answer that I need to get this solved? And now that's overall what I would say.
Good. Awesome. I think a lot of guys need to drop their ego. Partly to what you were saying, the reason why they're asking these surface level questions is because they're trying to hide behind the truth, which is, I'm not really getting the results I want. I'm struggling with some self-confidence. So let me ask you this bullshit question to maybe you can give me a surface level answer so that can solve my deeper problem. Like if you, both of us help guys with this, like you guys need to stop lying to yourself. That's the main thing. All right. Stop lying to yourself and making you think that you're not struggling as bad as you are, right? A lot of you guys have a lot of things that can be fixed. My man Benjamin, he has a mentorship. I have a mentorship. A lot of guys are trying to help y'all, but we can't help you motherfuckers if y'all don't want help. And the problems are gonna persist. All right. What do you think about the importance of mentorship, bro, and getting help, Benjamin?
Well, I think if you can simply, if someone, whatever problem you're dealing with, someone has the answer out there, right? And really, it's like making sure that you're ready to receive their answer. Because a lot of guys, like you said, they're not ready. They're lying to themselves. They're operating at a low level of self-awareness. So if someone already has the answer for you, why are you going to make it difficult for yourself? You're more than welcome to try it on your own. But most of the time, you've tried it on your own for a long time. And that doesn't mean just blindly follow whoever it is. Make sure you do your due diligence on who you want to mentor you. Make sure that they're legit. Don't put yourself in a compromising position, of course. But if someone has the answer, you're going to pay one way or the other, whether it's in time or in money. And with time, you can't get back. And with time, a lot of times, you're less likely to get it on your own. People say, why would I pay for this? It's free on YouTube. It's not free. You're going to pay in time. You're going to pay in having to organize and make sense of the information on your own. And you're creating your own blueprint and your own system, which means it's less likely to work. This is why entrepreneurs, investors, people who take outsized risks get outsized returns, because they're doing something that has a high failure rate and they're creating a new system. So then they're able to benefit off of that. I don't know about you, but when it comes to certain things, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't need to be fucking Picasso. If someone already has the answer and they've done it, I'd rather just do that, pay if I got to pay, or do what I got to do to get access to that answer and then go about my life and focus on the things that are what I feel are my best skills.
Exactly, bro. And I've said this before, but my dad named me after Otto von Bismarck, and he has a famous quote that goes, only fools learn from their own mistakes. Wise men choose to learn from the mistakes of others. Right? There's a guy that commented, LOL, mentorship for dating is wild. But if you look at your life, you're probably not attracting the kind of women that you want. You're probably average. You're going to stay the same. I don't know about you, Benjamin, but I've gotten a lot of help from outside people to help me in my business, and it's helped me tremendously, and I've made a lot of money. And I think a lot of guys downplay the importance of getting help because you think you got it all figured out. You think you're so smart when you're really not. I had a fucking dude last week, swear to God that he was smarter than my fitness pal. He was jotting down his own macros because he knew everything. That's a big problem with a man. Thinking that you got everything, you know every fucking thing when there's answers out there for you to get help. But it's okay. All right, the winners are gonna rise to the top regardless. Benjamin,
I would say too in closing, like you think mentorship for dating is wild, then again, you haven't understood the cost of your own time, the cost of the energy, time that you're spending doing it and getting the results that you're getting. If it's working for you, then that's great. However, I've worked with lots of guys after their divorce, getting out of a divorce, and trust me, they probably would have much rather paid whatever it is to get mentorship than potentially gamble half their net worth, spend 10, 20 years in an unfulfilling relationship. Now they have a fucking separated family. They don't live with their kids anymore. There's all sorts of terrible situations you can find yourself in as a result of your relationship with women and relationships with people in general. So if there is a way to expedite and fast track that process, I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, 50% of marriages and divorce, 80% initiated by women. So you got to figure it out, my dog. Let me know how those stats. Let me see how those stats work in your favor or against. Right? All these men are getting divorced, getting their fucking life taken from them. They don't have it figured out, but you do. All right. Where can people find you everywhere?
Yeah, you could find me at Real Benjamin Seda everywhere. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. Instagram is where I am most active, at Real Benjamin Seda. You can find me on YouTube every day for the last 29 days. For the entire month of January, I've been uploading a successful approach. So every single day I go out and I approach a girl with a different challenge in different environments. Picked up girls at the grocery store, the gym, the bar, on the street, the mall, picked up girls with their moms there. So if you want to see that challenge unfold, tomorrow is day 30 of the challenge. If I don't complete 30 approaches by tomorrow, I have to give away $10,000. So if you want to see how that ends up, you can check it out.
Awesome. And you guys can find me everywhere as well, at FITXFEARLESS. I'm gonna kick you in the ass. I'm not gonna baby you.
They need it, bro. They need it.
Yeah, man. You motherfuckers need to get y'all lives together, bro. But yeah, I'm everywhere. FITXFEARLESS as well. It was fun, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.